Hey guys, welcome to the channel. Nice for you stopping by. Today we're going to be talking about an interesting rifle from history. One of those rifles is the Mosin Nagant rifle. Now, there have been many other channels that have talked about the Mosin Nagant, Grantham, Brandon Herrera, Kentucky Ballistics, Measure Results. So, frankly, it's not going to be a different video other than what myself has done to this Mosin Nagant rifle. So, you guys want to stick around, talk about guns? Maybe go shoot some. Thanks. And the rifle we're going to be using to compare the Mosin Nagant rifle to, and we had to step this back because if we just use a regular AR, I think that's kind of not fair because most ARs are semi-automatic. So we're going to use this Henry Supreme 5.56 round Henry rifle. To be honest, this is actually my favorite rifle. The only thing that we changed was put this scope on here, this uh, Simmons scope. And to be honest, I was looking for a scope to put on this, and the highest I've seen was up to like $1,000, and the lowest I saw was $500. So I was just skimming around Shields, and I saw this for $85, and I was able to hit stuff up to maybe 50 yards. So when it comes to versatility versus spendability, this is actually a huge get. So if you're ever thinking about a starter scope or something like that, the Simmons scope that you can get at Shields is, I would say, is superior to anything that is by Bushmaster or anything like that, and it's a good bang for your buck. Or eventually you can upgrade this. So if you want to start with something light, this is a good way to start. A comparison that we can do is actually with an AR round, which this is right here, is a regular 5.56 55 grain, and this is the one I was telling you before, the regular 7.62 by 54R. We can just compare, uh, yeah, the 5.56 by 54R is a little bigger than the 5.56, chunkier around, probably going slower than the 5.56, but it's definitely hitting it with a lot more power because it's such a larger mass. The question today that we're asking ourselves is the Mosin Nagant rifle able to hang with rifles such as 5.56 or, yes, 5.56? 5.56, I would say, generally is the rifle a lot of people would say is fairly modern, especially with ARs and things like that. So the ammo that comes with, well, not with, but you can get for Mosin Nagant is this regular uh, full metal jacket, uh, 55 grain projectile, or you can get this more blunt looking one. It looks like it's armor piercing. It is not. It is essentially just a hunting rifle. It's a little more beefier and it has more powder, so it's essentially a hotter charge. Then we actually have the lightest one, which is right here, and it says that people keep claiming it's steel core. The only thing that's steel on this is the case. The bullet itself is not. So by legal definition, it is not a steel core ammo. I don't care what you say, it is not. So the Mosin Nagant rifle was established in 1891 and frankly became the primary rifle for the Russian army. What they realized in the Northern War, that they needed something with some serious firepower, especially in the coldness of Russia, especially in the winter, because it was called the Northern War. Nothing is northern than Russia. So they needed a rifle that was not black powder, because frankly, black powder does not light very well when out in the cold elements. So they came up with this rifle here, the Mosin Nagant rifle, chambered in 7.62 by 54R. You always say the R is rifle, the R is just for, just to state that this is for the Mosin rifle, when in reality it means rim. And actually, we have a Mosin round right here where you can see right there the little striation right there of the rim. So when you put it in here, it gets chambered, and it's frankly easy for you to cycle. The nice thing about the Mosin Nagant rifle is that it is 5-round capacity. I know some people have bastardized it into different variations, but I like to keep it as original as possible. Nothing super crazy. So yeah, that's what the Mosin Nagant rifle is. So essentially what you have is a bolt action right here. And if you didn't want that round like I just did right there, you have this little trap door right here that you can drop the ammo. Or you can do that weird reload that they like to do in YouTube videos. I tried it, it jammed up my rifle. So not gonna do that again. The things that are different about this is that I changed the iron sight to this 27x32 scope. And it's actually got this cool AR style picketing right here. So if I want to go bigger, I can just take this off, get a new scope mount right here and get something bigger. Also for right here, what we have is the rifle, what's it called, bipod mount. I know a lot of people say not to put it on the barrel, but frankly, we got so much meat here, it's not really much to move. So you pull these little tabs right here, that advances them out. This one's giving me some trouble. There we go. And you can put this on the ground like you're a sniper and enemies of the gates. And if you don't want them out, just pull those down and you can easily carry it around. The sling here is actually a surplus. It is actually a Yugoslavian style sling. So somewhat original. And for the butt is what I realized when I first shot this was this is a steel butt plate right here, and I didn't really like having that in my shoulder going multiple times. So it has not one, but 2 shock absorbers, and this just fires like a dream. It also has this cheek weld right here, and also has this little thing right here with extra ammo. Hey guys, welcome to the channel. Nice for you stopping by. Today we're going to be talking about an interesting rifle from history. One of those rifles is the Mosin Nagant rifle. Now, there have been many other channels that have talked about the Mosin Nagant, Grantham, Brandon Herrera, Kentucky Ballistics, Ministry of Results. So, frankly, it's not going to be a different video other than what myself has done to this Mosin Nagant rifle. So, you guys want to stick around, talk about guns, maybe go shoot some. Thanks. What is up, guys? So, we're out here at the range. And right now, we're going to show how the Mosin Nagant rifle will perform against 2 targets. So right now, what we're going to do is we're going to show you the difference between a full metal jacket, which is a little bit more of a spicier round, versus the metal casing. So let's give it a try. All right, so being safe, full metal jacket. And also, when you load a Mosin, because of this rim that's right here, what you want to do is you want to kind of load it like this, because if you just go at it like without being conscious of the rim, you'll cause a malfunction. So also, when in doubt, keep your gun locked until the very time you're about to start using it, because you never know at these ranges, because you know someone might come and do all types of weird stuff, right, Jason? You never know. All right, ears on. All right. Going hot. All right, let's go see what we did. So we hit kind of high right here. So what would you say that be? That I was aiming right here, so that's probably a 1.5 inch. Yeah. Second target, unfortunately, oh, look at that. I did clip it. That wasn't there, so way off target, but we still got it. So right now we're going to try a little nod to Brandon Herrera. Hi, Brandon. And we're going to do a White Claw penetration test. Be right back. There's a reason why they call this the pit. Because this is where everything goes to die. But not testosterone. This is where testosterone goes to rise. So right now, White Claw. And it's Brandon Herrera's favorite flavor, mango. Let's get the spicy boy going. All right. Ears on. Range hot. Let's retry that. The sun was in my eyes. You know, it was dusty out. You saw it, right, Jason? All right. I think we got him. Look at that. Some poor college girl out there is wondering why she's not drinking a White Claw tonight. And I just got my guy all wet. I'm sorry about that. So let's compare this to the Henry Supreme. And the reason why I'm not using a regular semi-automatic AR is that this is a bolt action. There are limitations to this. If they had made a semi-automatic Mosin, that'd be a whole other thing. But because this is a bolt action, there's limitations to it. So let's switch guns. I don't like that. Stay. Now this is the Henry Supreme rifle, chambered in that wonderful 5.56. And due to YouTube's compliance laws on 29 round capacity, pour one out for the homie. All right, let's go give it a try. Now, if you're liking this video so far, like, subscribe, share, make this your whole personality. But we're gonna see what a Henry Supreme 5.56 round does. And that's what happens when you have too many keys, is that eventually you start wondering what you're doing with your life. All right, there we go. All right, range hot. All right, let's go try that out. Yes, I did fire 6 rounds. 6 rounds, yeah. That is kind of cheating with the Mosin, but because of how slim the round is of a 5.56 versus a Mosin round, I think that was sufficient. So, wow, I need to work on my aim. But we did get a hit on the farther one, which we couldn't do with the Mosin. Got it right there. I wanted to say that's what, like an inch and a quarter? So we can say for certain that with the Henry, and you saw how quick that action was, where I could follow up the shots with the Henry versus the Mosin. So there are pros and cons to the Mosin, and then there are pros and cons to the Henry. The thing I like about the Henry is that you can get 30 round 20 round, 10 round, even 100 round drum. However, if it's not a P mag, it does this weird thing where you have to try to chamber a new round in. Personally, it's not my favorite thing of Henry, but I think it's a thing that we should always realize that a lot of these guns have pros and cons to it. It's just how we can adapt to it. So, when it comes to different rifles, which is more powerful? Mosin Nagant. Which one can you do follow-up shooting? Henry Supreme. Which one of these would you take for hunting? It depends. So my verdict on Mosin versus Henry depends. I think for power, for lore, for history, the Mosin Nagant rifle is your go-to. With the Henry, if you're looking for a modern day sporting rifle that accepts AR mags or other things like that, this is your go-to gun. Guys, thank you very much. If you like this type of stuff, like and subscribe. Comment in the section how we can make this better. Maybe I'll do a review on the Henry rifle. Who knows? Thanks, guys.